Stanley looking left sideline. Rod Harper, touchdown, SaberCats. Rod Harper looked like he jumped out of the stands. He was so open at the 5-yard line. So 70-33, final play. Stanley drops back. He will sling it into the stands. And the San Jose SaberCats move to 2-0. They win 70-33. Migna, plenty of time, looking deep downfield. He's got it! Touchdown, SaberCats!
Hi everybody and welcome to SaberCats Weekly. I'm Dave Lewis for Chris Townsend. Coming up a visit with head coach Adair about the resounding win over Philadelphia, a sit down with Terrence Carter, and a preview of next week's game in Pittsburgh. It's all coming up on SaberCats Weekly. Welcome back to SaberCats Weekly with Coach Adair 2-0, all is well after the big win over Philadelphia. How important was it for you to not just win, but win against one of the premier teams in the league, the top team in the East?
It was a great test for us. The guys came out with a lot of energy. They were detailed, and they did what they had to do to win the football game.
So 4th and 11. The ball at the 1-yard line. Radaba under pressure, firing deep, incomplete. Incomplete. He wanted Tiger Jones. The SaberCat defense comes up with a stop, and San Jose takes over.
Very close to shutting them out in the second half. How important was it for you in terms of keeping your regular guys in there and say, hey, you know what, we're not going to let them score?
Very proud of the guys. At halftime we talked about it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We need to be known as a team that's going to finish you off, and they did a tremendous job coming out that second half, staying detailed and keeping that focus and finishing the game.
Is Philadelphia a tougher team to prep for because of their great running back and their ability to throw the ball?
You know, Philadelphia is a good football team. Derrick Ross is one of the best runners in this game, approaching the league record for yards. Their quarterback, he gets the ball out of his hands quick. Kaiser is, one of the best defensive backs. They have good pressure up front from those front guys, so they're definitely a tough team to play. That's why they played in the last 2 Arena Bowls.
Nathan Stanley in his first start, 13 of 18, 5 touchdowns. Also a rushing touchdown. On 1st and goal from the 5, dumping into the end zone. Reggie Gray, touchdown, SaberCats.
You had a great effort from a quarterback making his first arena start in Nathan Stanley, a kid that went to Mississippi, southeastern Louisiana, not a lot of arena experience. Are you surprised at what he's been able to do so quickly in this game?
I've said it to every reporter. Nathan does it in practice. He's been doing it in practice ever since we started camp. He's a solid football player. He loves the game. He understands the game, and he can throw the football.
At what point did you know that Migna would not be able to play?
About a day before the game, because they go through all those protocols. They wait until the last minute to tell you, but we had a lot of faith in Nathan, and we felt he can get it done. When
you game plan this week, do you prepare with 2 quarterbacks in mind then?
It depends on what he can do. We're not going to start practicing until tomorrow, so that's a long ways away. We still have to do the game plan and talk to the doctors tonight and see what's going on.
Let's talk about some of the individual efforts that you had and some sensational ones. Ken Fontenay, your leading tackler, with 7.5.
Like Kenny Fontenay, he's a tough kid, did a great job coming out of his back pedal, breaking up some balls, as well as making those physical tackles. Huey
Whitaker, who does it on both sides of the football.
He's tough at that linebacker because he's so long and he's always in the quarterback's face, and he gets his hands on a lot of balls.
And you have the grizzled veteran. Does he surprise you, Cleveland, with his ability to play at such a high level? I know he's one of your better players. He's a Hall of Famer. He does so much for you, but another pick 6 in game number 2.
The best to ever come up and put his hands on a receiver. No one can do it like him. He did it when he was young. He's doing it now like a nice old wine, and he gets it done week in, week out.
What kind of presence is he in the locker room to the younger guys?
Not only the younger guys, the coaches, everyone. He's a leader around here. He sets the tone day in and day out with his football team, and I'm glad he's here.
I remember talking to you in the offseason. You needed explosiveness, and getting a guy like Reggie Gray, and you visited him and you talked with his family about the benefits of coming to San Jose. Talk about what he's brought to the table.
Reggie's a playmaker, and that's what we needed. Anytime Reggie goes downfield, he's tough to cover. Everyone knows that you throw the ball out there, he can go get it.
Stanley dropping back to pass on first down, looking deep into the end zone for Reggie Gray. A sliding grab, touchdown! He caught it and then smashed into the wall and held on to the football. That was a great catch.
Only 2 games in, where do you see the team in terms of improvement? What do you need to get yourself to a championship level?
We have to continue to play football. It's early. We have to keep that eye of the tiger. We have to be hungry. We have to enjoy coming here and enjoy the journey. That's the thing about winning a championship. You have to enjoy the journey. And I think the guys understand that. We talked about it last night in the locker room. The reason a lot of things happened last night is because they work hard in the locker room, weight room, out on the field. And anytime you do that, you're going to have success.
Did you have a conversation with the group prior to the season and say, hey, you know what, we were close last year, but for us, it's all about the ring at the end?
We want to be known as a good football team. We don't want to be known as a football team with a lot of talent. And that's what we're trying to get to. We want to be a good football team, and the guys work hard every week to try to achieve that.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll talk about Pittsburgh in a while.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Wardrobe has been provided by Casera Clothers.
David Hyden is one of the newest additions to the San Jose SaberCats defensive core. We had him mic'd up in training camp. Check it out.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Is this thing on?
Mic check.
This thing on? Oh man. Those legs warmed up. Man. What's today, day 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Feel about day 40. Bringing it. Feel that? That's called camp.
Hey man, work on 3. 1 2 3.
Work! Okay, long work. Good job. One thing for taking the motion that helps, I've been training my eyes. Start real low and work your way up, because you start at the shoulders, you can get all this, especially with a guy like Reggie, someone else 50. Start real low because everything's gonna be right here. I backpedal so much better on my toes. Yeah. I've always been a heel backpedaler. I always push off like that. So much better on my toes. I was like a ninja. Couldn't even hear my feet. Boy, oh boy. Started looking on eBay for these new legs. Nah, actually, I don't want some used ones. I'll go to Costco, get a bulk. I gotta get low. Get low, get low. In the W. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Looking for me. My check. My right. Don't believe me, just look for me. Hey, buddy. High five? No, no high five? All right. Maybe next time. I like this turf. This turf's nice. Spongy.
I saw Rod mess up on that ball. He fumbled and couldn't catch it. I said, you can be a DB on this team.
Big field. Halftime. Halftime, man. We still got half a game left. Yeah, this is not even, that was warm up in the first series. That was where the fun starts. Woo! Speed! Woo! Hold that ball, man. Hold that ball. Here. Come on, man. Here, do that again. Do that again. Do that again. Yeah, I do want it. Do it. Do it then. Oh, don't worry. Get back on that side of the ball. Offensive players, man. Tell you what. Got you.
This week's Offensive Player of the Game was quarterback Nathan Stanley. While making his first career start, Stanley completed 18 of 28 passes for 249 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers. He led the SaberCats offense to touchdown drives on every possession, including taking one on the ground himself during the team's 70-33 win over the Philadelphia Soul.
Offensive Player of the Game has been brought to you by Fries.com.
This week's Defensive Player of the Game is defensive back Ken Fontenay. Fontenay led the SaberCats in tackles with 7.5 and made an interception on a 2-point conversion attempt late in the game against Philadelphia. After 2 games, Fontenay leads the SaberCats with 12.5 tackles to go along with 3 passes defensed.
The Defensive Player of the Game has been brought to you by Fries.com.
Welcome back to SaberCats Weekly with defensive lineman Terrence Carter. For the second straight week, a lineman being represented.
Yes, sir.
What's it mean to get that kind of respect, some love on TV?
I mean, with the way this team is going and the work we've put in, every person needs, to get credit on this team, because from day one, from the practice field to the meeting rooms, everybody has put in 100% with the same goal of a championship.
We were talking about that off camera. You've been around a little bit, Tulsa, Orlando, Pittsburgh. The focus with this group in winning it all.
Yes, sir. That's just the way the guys that coach and everybody is put together, from vet players and rookie players. Everybody has to have the same focus and attitude every game. Not that it's a championship, that's the main goal, but it's one game at a time. And I love the feeling and I love the vibe in this locker room.
And you've noticed the difference compared to other places you've been?
Yes. I mean, there's no egos, there's no attitudes. Everybody wants the same thing around here, and it's an amazing feeling.
What about the vibe in the locker room after that resounding win on the defensive side, the way you just crushed Philadelphia?
And that's what we wanted to do. Honestly, we set out in practice, we had a game plan, and we followed it. At the same time, we stay humble, but we stay hungry and get ready for next week.
The only mystery was whether you'd shut them out in the second half. They got that last-second touchdown. Was it a focus, hey, let's not let them score?
It's every play. It's not let up. We go 4 quarters, every play 100%. So it's not that we want to humiliate a team. We just want to set out and do what we did from the start, from jump.
Since you've been around the league a little bit, what about living in San Jose? How's it compared to Orlando, Pittsburgh, Tulsa?
I love the weather out here. You can wear shorts and a shirt, you can get away with it. But, I mean, it's cold to Californians. I'm from Kansas, so I'm used to it being 10 degrees around this time. So it's lovely to me, and I love the atmosphere out here. The people, the fans. It's just a good feeling.
You notice we do pay for it, though, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do. And then you have water shortages. I've never seen that before. We get thunderstorms every other day, in certain seasons in Kansas. So I don't know. Y'all killing me.
Sebanewski back to throw. He's rushed and he's sacked at the 5-yard line. Turnover on downs for the SaberCats. And going in there for the sack was Terrence Carter. He got a sack last week. He gets one, a big situation of the first quarter tonight.
We were talking off air about before your college days. I know we were exaggerating. You were a great basketball player.
No, I don't know about great, but I was decent for Topeka, Kansas. It was a 6A school, but I did enjoy it. I was just trying to be like my brother and just follow his footsteps. But as I got bigger and my body started to develop, I knew I was going to lean towards football, and so that's the path I took.
And your brother was the real basketball player in the family.
He was the real basketball player, all city, all state. He averaged 25 points a game. Because of his height, he didn't get a shot on the next level. But now he went from the Globetrotters, and now he's playing with the Harlem Legends with some of the greats.
You got Sweet Georgia Brown on your iPod?
Was that? Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah, no, I love all songs. Like there's no one genre of music for me. Like, if it has a beat, I'm gonna listen to it. But that one, that's definitely in my iPod just for him.
Terrence, I appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir.
How y'all doing out there? I'm Kenny Fontenay. This is my 4th year in the league, 2nd with the SaberCats, from Austin, Texas originally. I'm looking forward to bringing home that ship this year. Came up a little short last year. Things didn't quite bounce our way, but this year we're hoping to get up on that podium. Let's go SaberCats.
Back with the coach, Darren Arbett. Next up, a road trip to Pittsburgh. And this is a team that's gone through an awful lot the last couple years and in the last few days. What can you tell us about preparing for this team that's going through so much turmoil right now?
They have a lot of talent. Their quarterback, Tommy Grady, was MVP a couple of years ago. Virgil Gray, their defensive back, he can really play. He had 15 interceptions, I want to say, last year. I like their offensive line. Madison, he can play. They have some defensive linemen that can really get up the field. It's going to be a tough game for us.
They've only had 5 returning players come back from last year's roster, and they blew a 17-point lead against Cleveland that led to a coaching change. How does that impact your preparation when they've got one game that you've got in terms of film, but they might have an entirely new system?
Like I said, they have a lot of talent there. And then they got Ron James, who was in Utah, Coach of the Year in our league 2 years ago. He's a good football coach. To go along with that talent, they can be a dangerous football team.
This week, do you watch a lot of film of maybe the old Utah stuff to see, hey, this is the way James coached them when he was with that squad?
You know, we're going to watch a lot of film, period, just to prepare for Pittsburgh, and the coaches understand what we're up against. It's a long trip, a team with a lot of talent, and a good football coach.
Now, you mentioned their talent, but they've been through a lot the last couple of years. You have a group of guys that are really playing for their jobs. Would you expect more of an inspired effort from that team in terms of their effort, their inspiration, because their one-loss record hasn't been great over the last couple of years?
You know, yeah, they lost their first game, and no one wants to go 0-2, so there's going to be a little extra effort there by them. But like I said, there's a lot of veterans there, some players who have a lot of awards and that's been great in this league, and they're going to play hard.
Grady was the MVP in 2012. What kind of skill set does he bring to the table?
He's tall. What is he, 6'7"? He can see over the line. He has a good arm. He understands this game, and he has a quick release.
And you obviously have a chemistry thing that works with Reggie Gray and when you have Mickna playing, because they have a history going back to college. They're LeSueur, outstanding receiver, and Grady. How important is it to have a history in terms of making that chemistry come together quicker?
Yeah, appreciate Rodriguez and LeSueur and Grady. I mean, those are great combinations right there, and we understand that, and we're going to watch the film and study it and see what we can do to try to stop that.
Their offense has struggled over the last couple of years, but defensively, they've been among the better teams in the league.
Yeah, they have a good defense. They have a good football team, Dave. I mean, I like Pittsburgh. There's a lot of talent there. They're new, but they're a new football team, a young football team, but they play hard. And like I said, when you go up against a team that's 0-1 and no one wants to go to 0-2, and they have a new coach, and like Ron James, I have a lot of respect for him. He's a good football coach.
It's a guy that had 7 years of experience in this league and has had a lot of success. How long does it take when you go back to your days as a new coach, a new head coach, to get the pieces to fit together? They want to do it obviously pretty quick in game one against you, but it takes time to make it happen.
It really does. It takes time to build a team, and Ron understands that, and he understands personnel and chemistry and all that stuff.
And when you look at your team this year, Coach, and we spoke in that first segment about what you have to do, get better every week, and you're a guy that's close to your players, close to the coaches. When you make those changes in building your roster, it's not one that you take lightly because you have attachment to these guys. These are friends, these are almost family when you build that team and you have to make changes for business reasons.
Yeah, it's a business, and if I don't win enough games or players don't play, good, I mean, things happen, and we all understand that. But right now, we need to gel as a football team. These guys just need to stay together, work hard, and play for each other.
And we spoke to Terrence Carter between segments about the focus. He said he's never seen this kind of chemistry, this kind of determination in terms of being a great squad.
Yeah, I like this team. I mean, the guys like each other. They play hard for each other, and they're trying to help each other in practice, and they do a great job of competing against each other.
How important is it for you, Coach Arbette, to win this Pittsburgh game, because coming up you've got 4 consecutive games within the conference?
I'm worried about Pittsburgh right now. I couldn't tell you who we played after that. Really don't care. We have a talented Pittsburgh team there that we're getting ready to play. We need to go watch the film and prepare for them.
Fair enough. Good luck, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
That'll do it for this week's show. Join us March 29th at 2 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet and KMBR as the SaberCats take it to the road to take on the Pittsburgh Power. We'll talk to you about it next week on SaberCats Weekly.
SaberCats Weekly has been brought to you by Dr. Sharma, South Bay Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Casera Clothers, and Fries.com.